Hi, and welcome to freenetworkstudy.com. In this lab, we'll configure an IPsec VPN between two sites with overlapping IP subnets. This is a quite common scenario. It can happen, for example, if you have to establish an IPsec tunnel with a third party using the same private IP address range. It can also happen, as described here, when merging two networks. So we'll have to configure network address translation to make that work. And the trick is to make users, devices on the headquarters site, believe that the R&D site is on 192.168.20.0/24. Likewise, users and devices on the R&D site will be tricked to believe that the headquarters site is on 192.168.10.0/24. So let's start from ASA 1 by configuring the network address translation. To keep things under control, let's define the three network object groups we'll be using for the NAT. Object network, we call it local. That's the local subnet, so 192.168.1.0/24. Then the object network local mapped, and that will be the subnet presented to the R&D department. Subnet 192.168.10.0 255.255.255.0. Then we have to define a network object for the subnet to be presented to the headquarters. Object network remote mapped subnet 192.168.20.0. Now let's define the NAT rule to be used. NAT as from inside to outside. So when traffic is going from the headquarters to R&D is the source we want to NAT, and we do that with the source static, the subnet to be translated, so that was the local subnet. It should be translated to the local mapped subnet. Oh wait, I mistyped local here. That would cause a problem. We don't want to translate the destination address, so destination static, and we type it twice. We're basically telling the ASA to NAT it to itself. I created the object with an underscore instead of a dash. Of course, you have to change it on both. And there you go. That's it for the translation part. Now we have to create the access list, matching the traffic to be protected. Access list, L to L, for LAN to LAN, extended permit IP. Now let's take a minute to think. Which IP addresses will reach the tunnel? Is it the local mapped, the remote, or the remote mapped address? Now we do know that NAT is processed before VPN. In that case, it will be translated local IP that would reach the tunnel, and the destination will be the only known destination, which is the remote mapped IP. The translated local IP is object local mapped, while the only known remote IP is the remote underscore mapped. Great, so let's quickly create all the IPsec configuration. Let's start with the transform set, crypto, IPsec, IK version 1, transform set, we call it strong. And the protocols are ESP, AES-256, ESP, SHA, HMAC. Now the IK policy, crypto, IK v1, policy 10. Authentication that was pre-shared. Encryption AES-256, hash was SHA, and the Diffie element group we can take 2. Now let's bind everything with the crypto map. Crypto map CMAP 10, matching the access list, address L to L. Now crypto map CMAP 10 set peer, and the remote ASA IP address is 10.1.2.1. Crypto map CMAP 10 set IK v1 transform set, and that was strong. Oops. We'll be using the outside interface, crypto map CMAP interface outside, crypto map CMAP interface outside, crypto IK v1 enable outside. And now the tunnel group, tunnel remote IP 10.1.2.1, and the type is IPsec L2L. Tunnel group 10. 10.1.2.1 IPsec attributes, and the attribute is the pre-shared key IKV1 pre-shared, and we choose Cisco. Alright, let's do the same thing on ASA2. Let's start with the object network local subnet 192.168.1.0/24 object network local mapped. And this time we want to map to 192.168.20.0. Object network remote mapped. That's subnet 192.168.10.0.255.255.255.0. Okay, now the NAT process. NAT inside outside, NAT with an A. Source static local to local mapped, and we keep the destination static remote mapped. Destination has to be unchanged, so remote mapped. The access list L2L extended permit IP object local mapped, and that's for traffic going to remote mapped. The crypto transform set IPsec IKV1 transform set strong ESP AES 256 ESP SHA HMAC. Now the IKE policy crypto IKE v1 policy 10. Authentication was pre-shared. Encryption AES 256. Hash was SHA, and the Diffie Hellman group was 2. Now the crypto map CMAP 10, and the access list was L2L. Crypto map CMAP 10 set peer, that's 10.1.1.1. Crypto map CMAP 10 set IKE v1 transform set strong. Crypto map CMAP interface outside. Crypto IKE v1 enable outside. Finally the tunnel group remote peer is 10.1.1.1. the type is IPsec L2L, and the IPsec attributes, and that's pre-shared, it's an IKE v1 attribute, pre-shared Cisco. Okay, now so let's test. Let's jump to router 3 and ping router 2. Router 3, if we ping 192.168.1.1, that will work, but now we're pinging the local router. To really ping router 2, we would have to ping 192.168.20.1, since the headquarters believe that the R&D department is running 192.168.20. Let's try that. That's working. Let's jump to router 2 and do the same on router 2. Show IP interface brief. Okay, ping 192.168.10.1. And that's working. And that's it. Thank you for watching.